Austin Matthews wins the faceoff. McCabe.
Special teams will be affected.
Here's Yarncroke. Saved by Shesterkin. Look at the starting lineups presented by Jeep. Dakota Joshua with the puck. Out to the point. Shot by Benoit. Blocked. Cartier on it for the Rangers. And he lifts it down into the Maple Leaf zone. Puck sent around by Myers for Benoit. Hit by Cooley. Kept in the zone. Cartier shot deflected by Cooley and turned aside by Woll.
Really alert play by Cartier to get the puck to the net with Cooley on top of the crease.
Now it's Cooley once again, a Toronto native. Here's Cartier. Out to Iorio. Now Matthew Robertson. Robertson cutting wide on Joshua. Roster management situation. And JT Miller on injured reserve. Here's Matthew Nyes. Looks to split through. Shesterkin able to knock the puck out with his left pad, and now it's Gabe Perreault. Perreault flips in deep. Morgan Riley back on it for the Leafs. Easton Cowan pressured by Zibanejad. And now Riley finds the stick of John Tavares. Back across for Riley, in with a shot. Turned aside by Shesterkin. A hit by Quillen on Iorio. Puck now carried out by Will Cooley into the Maple Leaf zone. Pass was blocked off by Stetcher. Out it comes to Schneider, a shot. Score! Braden Schneider with a bullet from the right point.
To get the puck through, and that's what he does. And a nice little tip over the glove of the 6'4" Joseph Woll. And the Rangers have tied this puppy up.
Myers goes up the boards. Borgen steps up. Shots are 3-2 Leafs. Each team with a goal.
Good thing it wasn't a commemorative puck for a first point or something, because they had no idea where the puck was.
Wow. I was wondering where you were going with all that. That's great stuff, John.
Shot off the post and then a save by Shesterkin. I thought maybe the puck hit one of the cameras in the net.
Yeah.
But John coming up with the answer, as he usually does. Matthews was tied up, unable to get the shot through. Here's Cooley into the left of Joseph Woll.
Igor Shesterkin made a heck of a save at that puck came off the post to keep this thing tied at 1.
Now here's Michelli, who has the Toronto goal. Morgan Riley. Riley shoots, and that's stopped by Shesterkin. Good positioning by Zibanejad on Matthews. And now it's Carlo for the Leafs. Nylander. Pass Michelli. Puck played by Perreault. Good aim from Stetcher if he put it through one of those small holes. Here's Lafreniere out in front. Perreault stopped by Woll. And then the puck cleared by Riley. Long shot blocked off the stick of Lafreniere. Gavrikov plays it in the neutral zone for the Rangers. Now Lafreniere off the feed from Zibanejad. Puck comes across to Fox. And now Zibanejad. Not get good wood on that one. With Borgen and Robertson. Riley, now Matthews. Matthews back out to the point. Riley into the slot. Shot by Tavares, blocked by Borgen. Nylander back out to the stick of Riley. Shoots, deflected by Nyes. And Borgen clears.
Good job, as you mentioned, Kenny. Borgen gets right to the Toronto shooter. So there's not much room for the puck to move. Goes off his foot, he eventually gets it in the corner, and out it goes. Good job by Will Borgen.
35 seconds remaining on the penalty to Parson, and here's Michelli. Now Cowan. Cowan back out for McCabe. Winds, shoots, saves Shesterkin. Here's Morgan Riley down to 20.
And Toronto's top offensive players are on the ice.
Now Radish for Iorio. And the save by Woll. Iorio chasing along with Myers. Dakota Joshua with it for the Leafs. Here's Robertson. Robertson for Domi. Poked away by Matthew Robertson. Now Domi on it for the Leafs. In behind the net. Robertson out to the point. Shot by Carlo. Off the mark. Riley steps up. Now Cooley. Look at the Chevy time on ice. Long shift for the Leafs here in the second period. The long change saved by Woll on Gavrikov, and then he stopped Lafreniere as well. Now lead the Rangers 2-1. Here comes Iorio looking to split through, and a penalty will be assessed.
Of their club, and it is if they could keep them both healthy.
Here's Radishin with a shot. Score! Gavrikov puts home the rebound. Power play goal. Rangers have tied it at 2.
And Gavrikov does just that. Again, nice little dink pass, puck to the net, off the right pad, and wide open real estate. And it came well advertised as a defensive player. That's goal number 11 on the season for the big defender.
Now a backhand shot. Could not get through to Woll. Back out it comes to Gavrikov. So 11 for Gavrikov. He's closing in on your single season high of 13.
Right.
Will Cooley shaken up. Cooley slowly back onto his skates. And now we'll head to the Ranger bench.
Yeah, he took that shot off the ankle.
Cross ice pass Joshua. And a save by Shesterkin on Robertson.
Healthy scratch his last 3. Gets himself an assist.
Matthews stopped by Shesterkin. Lafreniere lifts the puck out of the zone. Knocked down by Riley. As we approach 11 minutes remaining, second period. Matthews lost it. Here's Lafreniere across the crease. Maple Leafs have made the playoffs 9 straight seasons. Cooley looking for Brodzinski.
Of course, Florida would go on and win the cup.
Here comes Matthews, gloved by Shesterkin. Picked up from the San Jose Sharks with Washington prior to that. Now Domi, shot by McCabe. Down to 1:45.
Some battle with Iorio and Joshua in front of the net, 2 big bodies.
Domi sending it back out for Stetcher. Stetcher's shot blocked. Cartier got in front of that one. Domi with it for the Leafs. Now Robertson.
Minute 45 for Cartier, minute 47 for Iorio. A long shift for the boys in blue.
Here's Domi. Leafs keep it alive in the Ranger zone. Now Robertson. Towards the net, getting a stick on it was Matthew Robertson. Domi feeds Riley. Back out for Carlo. Fresh skaters on the ice for the Leafs. Joshua looking for the puck. And then Iorio kept it out. Now a shot by Domi off the bar. Cowan maintains control for the Leafs. Cowan had a great chance, blocked by Iorio. Now a good stick from Cartier. Puck played behind the net by Cowan. Sends it out to Riley. Now Carlo with 35 seconds. Back out to Carlo. Shot blocked by Gamelosh.
Well, the second period change has afforded fresh troops on a consistent basis for Toronto. The Rangers can't get it out. They can't get off.
Laba Cartier, saved by Shesterkin. They've been on the ice for 3 minutes.
Jackie DiPiazza from the Ranger alumni group. Michael Rappaport, who Ranger historian.
Yeah, they both put in countless hours. Shot by Radish, turned aside by Woll. All of the celebrations were terrific, and you could just tell how excited all of the alums were to come back.
Come back, yeah. Well, Kevin was just telling me this is his first time back since he played.
And we've heard that from some others. I remember Pierre LaRouche earlier this season had not been back in quite some time. Said, I never imagined I would be back on the Garden ice. Matthews with it for the Leafs. With Nylander and Michelli. Shot by Michelli is gloved by Shesterkin. Shesterkin cleared to the boards by Gavrikov. And now carried out by Zibanejad. Here's Lafreniere. Flips one, and that's gloved by Woll. Including the overtime winner. Here's Brodzinski with Cooley. Brodzinski across. Cooley stopped by Woll. Robertson back out. Rangers control the draw. Here's Fox. Zibanejad shoots wide. Gavrikov back around. Fox deflects it over to Perreault. Now Zibanejad shoots. Puck cleared to the boards. Kept alive by Mika Zibanejad. Lafreniere tied up by McCabe. Lafreniere keeps it alive for Fox. Now Zibanejad. Here's Gavrikov. Hit off the stick of Fox. Knocked down by Zibanejad. Shoots. He scores! Persistent shift by the Rangers.
Off the draw and just continued to track the puck down. Adam Fox did two wonderful plays along the boards to keep the puck alive on the rim arounds. Zibanejad will eventually get it and out of the air.
Alexis Lafreniere with his 14th of the season to give the Rangers a 3-2 advantage. Here's Matthews, stick handling behind the Rangers net. Now Michelli. Here's Carlo for Riley. Riley flips one, knocked down by Shesterkin. Nylander looking for it. Michelli comes in. Matthews there as well. Schneider from his knees moves it up the boards. Kept alive by Matthews. Now Carlo for Riley. Cross ice. Matthews backhand shot. Knocked down and covered.
It's almost like Adam Fox handling the puck. Hold on to it and let the traffic run by him. Igor Shesterkin.
Under 10 minutes remaining. Here comes Amelosh. Amelosh to the net. He scores! His first National Hockey League goal!
Rangers, he jumps on it, does Amelosh, in he goes, uses his length and his size to create space, and upstairs.
In his 7th NHL game, his first goal, his first point. Had not played in a game with the Rangers since mid-December. Oh, Zibanejad off the side of the net on the feed from Lafreniere.
Oh my God, that looked like McKinnon in the gold medal game.
Remember, Amelosh, in his first game with the Rangers, dropped the gloves with Travis Hamonic in Detroit.
Right.
Brian Boyle was working that game with us. Here's Lafreniere. Zibanejad, he scores!
Lafreniere starts it through the middle of the ice. Zibanejad finds the late trailing Adam Fox. We're not done yet, folks. Lafreniere finds Zibanejad.
With the assists on the Zibanejad goal. If Mika can score 4 more tonight, he'll match his total from this date in 20.
When Path scored the third one.
And when Don Murdoch scored 5, as Robertson fires, stopped by Woll, it was within the first 5 games of his NHL career.
You know, on the top of the circles, maybe. Cesar Maniago was the goalie. Oh my God.
There's Knies to the net, saved by Shesterkin.
Another good, solid defender, right, on those teams. That's why a guy like, you know, you look at some of the younger defensemen during those. We'll continue this as the play moves along.
Fox over for the Rangers. Now Cooley. 3 minutes to go, third period. Nice move by Tavares, and then a shot stopped by Shesterkin. Rebound. Leafs looking for a penalty. Puck played by Cooley. Shoots for the empty net. He scores! Will Cooley with his second of the night.
And it ends up on the stick of Will Cooley. Cooley opened the scoring for the Rangers and are on the way to being winless in 4. Again, Toronto playing without 3 of their regular players. 4 really made a trade today, sent one of them out to Colorado. So the Rangers get themselves